Divorces are never a walk in the park, but even in the wild world of Hollywood drama, Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner's split takes the cake for being extra messy. Here's how Kevin Costner's divorce just got worse. The divorce case turned ugly fast. The world was simpler when Costner and Baumgartner were considered one of the cutest couples in town, especially when Baumgartner threw a cute little party for her partner after he couldn't attend the Golden Globes. But then things changed when Christine came straight out of left field and filed for divorce the same year. Word on the street was that 49-year-old Baumgartner got seriously fed up with Kevin's crazy work schedule and wanted out of the marriage. Since she was so desperate to leave, you'd expect Baumgartner would make the whole divorce process as easy as possible, right? Well, you'd be terribly wrong. The messiness all started when Baumgartner wasn't leaving Kevin's house. According to Kevin, this prenup they signed back in 2014 basically laid down the law that if they ever split, he gets to keep the keys to his separate property cribs, and his partner's gotta bounce from any separate property family pad within 30 days of filing for divorce. But Christine wasn't having any of it. She fired back and declared that she wouldn't pack her bags unless Kevin coughed up some serious cash. On his end, Kevin argued that he had been a stand-up guy. Not only did he fork out money for Christine's lawyer and accountant bills, but he had also paid her the promised $1.2 million from their prenup. At the same time, he had even come out with a solid temporary child support plan and kept their financial scene on the DL. The couple's prenup agreement had also included Kevin fronting a $200,000 down payment for Christine's new residence. But despite all of the terms Costner was meeting, Baumgartner wasn't happy. Then came one of the most bizarre points in the trial. Christine requested Kevin to pay $248,000 per month in child support. Based on Costner's 2022 income, Christine was under the impression that paying a hefty $248,000 per month in child support wouldn't be such a big deal for the Yellowstone star. It seemed like Christine was cool with moving out of their main place at this point. The only catch was that Kevin needed to sign off on her child support request first. What everybody later found out was that Baumgartner was aiming to set up a separate pad that matched the kids' usual lifestyle. Now, Kevin wasn't exactly thrilled with the $248,000 figure. To be fair, who would be? That's an insane number, even for a successful actor. But Costner thought it was a bit over the top for a bunch of reasons. According to some court papers dug up by E.T., Kevin started calling out Christine for exaggerating the kids' needs for child support. Kevin claimed Baumgartner hadn't been totally honest about stuff like private school tuition. In the court documents, Kevin tried his best to prove that it wasn't the kids who actually needed the money, but that Christine was the one who wanted it for her private trainers and other luxurious things. Costner was also pretty clear that the plastic surgery bills belonged to Christine, not the kids. Another shady thing that the Yellowstone star pointed out was that Christine wasn't really sorting out which credit card expenses were hers and which ones were for the kids. And this, of course, made it seem like much of Baumgartner's own lavish spending was part of the kids. As more and more evidence against Christine began coming out, it was clear she was under some major fire and, no doubt, had some serious explaining to do. Eventually, Baumgartner was ordered to move out of Kevin's home. In a court showdown in Santa Barbara, the judge shut down Christine's plea for more time to move out of the family home. She was finally given a deadline of July 31st, 2023. Even though Christine was willing to move out by August 31st, it wasn't part of the court's plan, especially considering Kevin agreed to her hefty $248,000 per month child support request. Let's be honest. After paying such a big chunk of his income, the least Baumgartner could have done was give her ex some space. What made the child support amount worse was that Kevin hadn't even agreed to it. He had initially agreed to shell out $51,940 monthly, but Christine wasn't satisfied. She clearly wanted more, a lot more. Baumgartner called the number Kevin was giving completely inappropriate for covering her and the kids' expenses. Post a court hearing, the judge stepped in and set a temporary child support payment at $129,000 per month, pending a potential change after an evidentiary hearing scheduled for November. Then, Christine made her relationship with Kevin even worse after she decided to throw some shade. She claimed Kevin couldn't handle her initial $248,000 per month child support demand because he had his eyes set on ditching Yellowstone for his Western project Horizon. What she was implying was that Costner was more interested in making it big in his career than taking care of his own kids properly. That's gotta be a low blow. For quite some time after the child support was finally set, Christine didn't stop throwing jabs at Costner. Finally, there came a point when the divorce was being stalled. But both parties blamed each other for making the situation worse. According to legal papers, Costner was calling out Baumgartner for using stalling tactics to stretch out the divorce. One of the tactics Baumgartner was supposedly using was saying she didn't really get their prenup when she signed it, or that she didn't properly understand the agreements. On the other hand, Baumgartner continuously accused Costner of being evasive about his financial details. She had asked for bank statements, credit card records, and contracts revealing his anticipated income. According to her, the documents Kevin had always provided were always lacking. Specifically, Baumgartner pointed out that while Costner suggested his income would drop without his involvement in the hit show Yellowstone, he wasn't being transparent about his upcoming project, Horizon. Now, Christine not only wanted the court to force Costner to hand over the financial info she had asked for, but was also seeking $8,985 in sanctions for the attorney's fees and costs she incurred to file the court request. How crazy is that? That's basically asking your ex for more money to help them sue you better. There's no surprise then that Costner's patience had worn thin and he refused to give in. His focus shifted from providing his ex with everything that was necessary to get her out of his life and had then moved on working towards giving her as little as possible. Kevin now accused Christine of playing games. According to court docs, he argued that she flat out refused, without justification, to tackle basic discovery. Taking issue with what he dubbed silly rhetoric, Costner finally wanted the court to give Baumgartner a talking to. The court papers filed back in August spelled it out. Baumgartner had a good 3 months to handle Costner's straightforward discovery requests, but she let the opportunity slide. For Costner, this silly rhetoric just screamed game playing. So, what did he do? Costner threw down the gauntlet and asked the court to slap Baumgartner with sanctions and make her cough up the $14,237.50 he claimed he shelled out in attorney's fees to get her to play ball with Discovery. Why, you ask? Well, Costner hoped this would put the brakes on any future Discovery shenanigans from Christine. Gotta say, smart move on his part. The bitter dispute worsened. The judge sanctioned Baumgartner and a $14,237.50 bill to cover Costner's attorney's fees, and things took an even wilder turn after that. Just a week later, Baumgartner fired back, asking Costner to cough up nearly $1 million to cover her attorney's fees and forensic accounting costs. According to court docs snagged by ET, the $885,000 ask was based on 1,106 hours of attorney time, charging $800 per hour, all to gear up for the trial and hash out the spousal support agreement. Kevin wasn't convinced by this justification because he thought most of the necessary legwork, including document production and depositions, was already in the bag, especially on the child support and gross cash flow front. As far as any future forensic accounting needs went, he considered them either unnecessary or already taken care of. The bottom line was that Costner had put his foot down and urged the court to slam the brakes on Baumgartner's $885,000 plea for attorneys and accounting fees. While this decision had put some brakes on the feud between the infamous couple for some time, who's to say that it'll be their last rodeo given the history they have with each other? Let us know in the comments at which point you were incredibly shocked by the way the divorce was going, and make sure to subscribe for more.